Greetings everyone, this is Canicus, and I'm here to bring you a new Heartsteel build guide. A month ago, I had hit Masters for the first time. It was a great accomplishment and important milestone in my League of Legends history. Everything was going so great for me climbing as Shen, and I was even starting to think Grandmaster was a possibility. After all, I had nearly 57% win rate in over 139 games. Master 100 LP, and I felt like I was at my peak, that nothing could stop me. But little I knew, my luck was about to change. Patch 13.1b, AD carry adjustments. Patch 13.3, Radiant Virtue nerfs. I started dropping my win rate and getting really frustrated. Instead of taking a break and make assessment of what was going on, I made the mistake of playing through the tilt without really learning nothing from it. And the more I played, the more elo I dropped. I dropped to Diamond 1, Diamond 2, Diamond 3, and then Diamond 4. And finally, the scariest thing happened. I got demoted to Plat 1, Plat 2, and Plat 3. My win rate went from 60 to 44%. I started doubting myself. After all, not even a month earlier I was a Masters with a very high win rate, dueling rate, teamfight performance. Did I get washed up? Was I just scared by a broken build? What happened? I just felt like I had no agency in the game anymore. But you know what? Then I thought, the game is made of cycles, and part of climbing is adapting to the cycles, adapting to the meta and the changes, finding new ways to make it work out. I have always been more of a duelist and aggressive Shen player, so I decided to revisit this play style through the old Heartsteel build. But this time, thanks to the nerf Endurance Shield on patch 13.4, I decided to try something else, something unique on Shen. The nerf Endurance Shield that initially increased my losses also opened up new possibilities, and that's a good thing. If you really have the will to win, you try to find advantage even when things look bad. And then I started purchasing Ruby Crystal plus 2 potions, no BAMs in the rushing, straight rushing to Heartsteel into Hydra on almost every game. For my surprise, I started climbing again. I started winning games that felt unwinnable. I was doing good damage while tanking a lot of damage. I was peeling and being a frontline. Suddenly, Shen didn't feel like it was falling off as hard anymore. On the contrary, I was scaling and becoming like a raid boss, a killing machine. It's like I was playing the best version of Shen yet. But why and how does it work? The answer is quite simple. It's something I said in my first Heartsteel build guide. In my opinion, Shen is the best champion to build Heartsteel, even better than Sion, because Shen is the only champion that has triple HP scaling. Key barrier scales off level and HP, and the more HP, the bigger key barriers, providing Shen with insane sustain mid and late game. Also shadow dash damage. You are able to hit 300 maybe 400 damage to AD carries late game. And finally your R shield, making sure to save that teammate being focused in a final teamfight. It's just too good. And by the way, the Heartsteel proc as well provides some nice extra damage to multiple targets in a teamfight, enabling your team to secure kills and win teamfights. Now you also couple it with Titanic Hydra, and you are a force to be reckoned with, a force to be feared, doing a lot of damage because all that extra HP from runes and Heartsteel also scales your Titanic Hydra damage, which also enhances your split pushing power, clearing wave, and maybe even taking down towers, and also of course your damage in combat. Enemy 18 AD carry, no problem, you can build Frozen Heart. Rock solid scales from HP as well. Just do the math. With so much HP, you can block over 20 damage per auto attack. Now think about it. In 10 auto attacks, we're talking about over 200 damage absorbed. And that's why this build works. I took one step further and went in full scaling mode on my runes as well. Instead of Revitalize, I went Overgrowth. Why? Because the more early HP, the more HP I stack from Heartsteel later. The more the key barrier and R shields gets, and the more the E damage. The more total HP I get from the 3.5% bonus. Instead of double adaptive, I also went one adaptive damage 1 resistance for lane, and the 1 HP rune for also that extra HP scaling for the very same purpose. Now, suddenly, that Shen champion that felt only reliable early game, that had to play the rest of the game hugging your carriers, trying to just peel and be scared to engage, suddenly felt with more agents, a monster that enemies feared in teamfights and in 1v1s. So how does the build works? It's quite simple. The core build is of course to start with Ruby Crystal into pots and rush it into Heartsteel as fast as you can. The 2 potions, in my opinion, it's all the sustain you need for the early game, as long as you are using your W and your key barrier proper to mitigate damage in your 1v1s. I generally like to get Crystalline Bracer as your first back, because it's sort of a Walmart during shield sustain. Ideally, in this build I like plated steel caps as well for the boots, especially after 13.5, as it mitigates a lot more damage than before. And then I rush Titanic Hydra. From there, I usually assess the situation. What does my team need? What's the enemy team damage? Enemy team AD heavy, Frozen Heart. Enemy team AD and lots of healing, Thorn Mail. A lot of match damage, Force of Nature. A lot of mixed damage, then don't be afraid to get Aegis and build it in Gargoyle Stone Blade. Anathemas is also a great buy and also bumps your damage and sustain even more. The build is very versatile after you get Hydra and Heartsteel, and you can basically build for every single situation. You could even get Redemption or Knight's Vow and go a bit more support for a fed carry if you really wanted. If the enemy team is way too fed at the moment you get Heartsteel, then you think Hydra would be a mistake, Warden's Mail Negatron Cloak is often enough to buy some time until you get Hydra as well. With this build, I beat my loss streak and climbed back to Diamond, and I'm going to try to get back to Master with that same build, unless of course Riot nerfs me again. But that's okay, if that happens we'll find another way. We always do. But please, if you like Shen, and if you like dueling and teamfighting, and if feeling like you want some more agency in your games, try this build. I promise you will not regret it. And if you like this video, please drop a like. If you have any questions or feedback, please drop a comment and I will reply as soon as I can. And don't forget to subscribe for the channel. I'll see you guys the next time. Bye.